Hey everyone, and welcome back to the final frontier. This is where humanity's big dreams take off and we slowly uncover the mysteries of the universe. Today, we're not just telling you about a mission, we're diving into a cool chapter of our human story, the journey to explore new places. Let's check out the awesome story of SpaceX Crew-10, a mission that's not just carrying people into space, but also the hopes and dreams of all of us. Ever since the space race started, America's always been right there at the front, trying to conquer that huge space above us. We've walked on the moon, built research labs orbiting Earth, and launched some seriously powerful telescopes way out into space. But after the space shuttle program ended, things got real. Getting to low Earth orbit became super expensive and we had to rely on other countries. That's where the Commercial Crew program came in, a total game changer. A smart partnership between NASA and private companies like SpaceX. The goal? To get our own way back into space and kick off a new era of space travel that's cheaper and more sustainable. Crew-10, which launched on a beautiful day in March 2025, really shows how successful this program has been. To really get why Crew-10 is such a big deal, we need to take a closer look at the workhorse that got them into space, the Falcon 9 rocket. This isn't just any old rocket. It's a symbol of how innovative and efficient we can be. Standing over 230 feet tall and almost 13 feet wide, the Falcon 9 is a real beast. But what's really cool about it is how complex it is and that it can be used again. The first stage, powered by 9 Merlin 1D Plus engines, creates over 1.7 million pounds of thrust when it lifts off. That's enough power to lift a whole bunch of school buses. What really makes the Falcon 9 stand out is that its first stage can land itself. After it's done its job of boosting the second stage and the spacecraft into orbit, this stage comes back to Earth all by itself, using little engines and grid fins to steer before landing vertically on an automated pad on land or out at sea. This reusable tech doesn't just cut launch costs big time, it also opens the door for more frequent and sustainable spaceflights. Now, those Merlin engines themselves use a staged combustion cycle. It's a complicated but super efficient design that lets them perform really well. The engine parts are made from incredibly strong nickel alloys that can handle the crazy temperatures and pressures when things are burning. The way they build the Falcon 9 is also pretty advanced, using stuff like 3D printing, which helps them make things faster and cheaper. And sitting right on top of this powerful machine is the Crew Dragon Endurance. This spacecraft is designed to carry people safely and comfortably. With room for up to 7 astronauts, the Crew Dragon is a huge step up from the American crewed spacecraft we had before. Its pressurized cabin is made to be a great living space for the crew during their whole trip. The advanced life support system makes sure they have enough oxygen, gets rid of carbon dioxide and other bad stuff, keeps the temperature and pressure steady, and even handles water and waste. One of the most important safety features of the Crew Dragon is its built-in launch escape system. If something goes wrong during launch, this system can fire powerful thrusters to quickly pull the crew capsule away from the rocket to safety. The Dragon also has a super smart automated docking system, which lets it connect with the International Space Station, ISS, really precisely and safely without the astronauts having to do much themselves in most cases. The outside of the spacecraft has a special heat shield that can handle temperatures of thousands of degrees Fahrenheit when it comes screaming back through Earth's atmosphere. Compared to older American crewed spacecraft like the Apollo Command Module or the Space Shuttle, the Crew Dragon has some serious upgrades in technology, safety features, and how many times it can be used. It's a really amazing step forward in how we design and build stuff for space. Looking at how complex and advanced the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon are, it makes you feel a sense of awe at how smart and creative humans can be. These aren't just machines, they're like works of engineering art, brought to life by thousands of brilliant people working their butts off to push what we thought was possible. The fact that the Falcon 9 can be reused is a perfect example of how we can explore space in a way that's more sustainable and responsible. But the real heart of any space mission isn't the hardware, it's the brave folks who answer the call of space. Let's dive deeper into the lives and journeys of each member of the Crew-10 team. 1. Anne McClain. NASA Anne McClain isn't just an astronaut. She's a mom, a decorated Army officer, and a seriously skilled test pilot. Born in Spokane, Washington, and had this lifelong dream of flying in space. She graduated at the top of her class from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point with a degree in mechanical engineering and later got a master's in aerospace engineering from the University of Bath in England. Anne's military career is nothing short of impressive. She served in the Army for over 2 decades, becoming a pilot of the OH-58D Kiowa Warrior helicopter with over 2,000 flight hours, including more than 800 combat hours during Operation Iraqi Freedom. Her leadership skills, amazing flying abilities, and how calm she stays under pressure led to her being picked for the Naval Test Pilot School, where she kept showing off her incredible talent. Here's a cool little fact. When Anne was a kid, she wrote a letter to NASA saying she wanted to be an astronaut, and she kept the response letter as something to inspire her throughout her life. In 2013, Anne's childhood dream came true when NASA selected her to join the astronaut corps. Her first spaceflight was in 2018, when she was part of Expedition 58 and 59th on the ISS, spending over 200 days in space and doing 2 challenging spacewalks. Her return to the ISS on Crew-10 shows how dedicated and passionate she is about space exploration. A touching story from that mission is how Anne shared that seeing Earth from space completely changed how she saw our planet and how connected everyone is. Anne McClain's story is a powerful example of how strong dreams and perseverance can be. She never gave up on her passion, overcoming every obstacle to achieve some truly extraordinary things. The combination of her military background and scientific knowledge has made her an exceptional astronaut. 2. Nichole Ayers. NASA Nichole Ayers is a seriously talented fighter pilot and a brilliant scientist. Born in Colorado, she graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy with a degree in mathematics and later earned a master's in aerospace science and technology from Oklahoma State University. Nichole had an awesome military career, becoming one of the first female F-22 Raptor fighter pilots in the U.S. Air Force. She racked up over 1,300 flight hours in different aircraft and served in combat missions overseas. Her quick thinking, ability to adapt, and superb flying skills earned her a lot of praise in the military. There's a story that during a training exercise, Nichole expertly handled an in-flight emergency, saving both the aircraft and her crewmate. In 2017, Nichole took a giant leap in her career when NASA selected her to join the astronaut corps. Crew-10 marks her first trip into space, a huge moment for someone who's dedicated her life to flying. Nichole has talked about how excited she is for the chance to do scientific experiments on the ISS and help us understand the universe better. She also hopes that her story will inspire young people, especially girls, to go into STEM fields. Nichole Ayers perfectly combines technical skill and pure courage. From mastering cutting-edge fighter jets to getting ready for the challenges of space, she's shown incredible adaptability and a never-give-up attitude. 3. Takuya Onishi. Takuya Onishi comes from Japan. He's a seasoned astronaut and someone who's always curious about the world around him. After graduating from the University of Tokyo with a degree in aeronautics and astronautics, he went into aviation, becoming a pilot for All Nippon Airways and flying Boeing 767 aircraft. Here's a neat little fact about Takuya. During his time as a pilot, he kept a detailed logbook of every single flight, showing how meticulous he is and how much he loves his work. In 2009, Takuya joined JAXA, that's the Japanese space agency, and became an astronaut. His first spaceflight was in 2016, when he was part of Expedition 48 and 49th on the ISS, spending about 113 days on the station and doing a bunch of important scientific experiments. His return to the ISS on Crew-10 highlights Japan's commitment to working with other countries in space exploration and its contribution to global science. Takuya often talks about how breathtakingly beautiful Earth looks from space and how important it is for countries to work together in our quest for knowledge. Takuya Onishi's participation really shows how vital international collaboration is in space exploration. The experience he gained from his previous flight will be super valuable for the Crew-10 mission, and his presence further strengthens the great partnership between NASA and JAXA. 4. Kirill Peskov. Roscosmos Kirill Peskov is a talented engineer and a promising cosmonaut from Russia. He graduated from Bauman Moscow State Technical University, one of Russia's top tech universities, with a degree in rocket and space systems engineering. Here's a cool tidbit about Kirill. During his university years, he was involved in a small satellite design project, showing his passion and talent in this field from a young age. While Crew-10 is Kirill's first trip into space, he's gone through some serious and thorough cosmonaut training at the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center. He's learned how to operate the systems of the Soyuz spacecraft and the ISS, as well as how to conduct scientific experiments and handle potential emergencies in space. Kirill's involvement in this mission is a significant symbol of the ongoing cooperation between Russia and the United States in space exploration, especially on the International Space Station. In a world with some complicated politics, this collaboration shows that science and exploration can go beyond earthly boundaries. Even though this is Kirill's first spaceflight, his solid preparation and strong technical background will definitely make him a valuable asset to the Crew-10 team. International cooperation, especially between Russia and the United States, is essential for keeping the ISS running and pushing the limits of space exploration. On March 14, 2025, at the legendary Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center, all eyes were on the sky. The countdown echoed, and then, with an earth-shattering roar, the Falcon 9 slowly lifted off the pad, carrying Crew-10 on their journey to conquer the cosmos. Within minutes, the rocket pierced through the thick atmosphere, and after about 8.5 minutes, the first stage separated and started its journey back to Earth for a landing. The second stage kept going, propelling the Crew Dragon spacecraft into low Earth orbit. After roughly 30 hours of flying freely in orbit, the Crew Dragon Endurance approached the International Space Station. With the help of its advanced automated docking system, the spacecraft smoothly connected with the forward port of the Harmony module. The hatch opened, and the Crew-10 astronauts were greeted by their colleagues who were already on board the station, including Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore. During their months-long stay aboard the ISS, the Crew-10 astronauts will be involved in a wide range of crucial scientific experiments. Let's take a closer look at a few of them. Number 1. Research on protein crystal growth in microgravity. Protein crystals grown in space often have a more perfect structure compared to those grown on Earth because there's no gravity. Crew-10 will likely be doing experiments to grow large, high-quality protein crystals, which will help scientists better understand the structure and function of proteins involved in diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's. This information could lead to the development of new and more effective drugs and treatments. Number 2. Testing of 3D metal printing technology in space. Being able to 3D print metal parts directly in space would be a huge deal for long-duration missions, because it would mean we wouldn't have to carry all the necessary spare parts from Earth. Crew-10 might be testing advanced 3D metal printers on the ISS, checking out how strong and good the parts created in the microgravity environment are. Number 3. Studies on the impact of microgravity on the human immune system. Research has shown that astronauts' immune systems can get weaker in space. Crew-10 will continue studies to better understand why this happens and develop ways to protect the health of astronauts on future long-duration missions to the Moon and Mars. Number 4. Earth observation with advanced sensing equipment. The ISS has a lot of sophisticated sensors to monitor what's happening on Earth, from changes in the polar ice to the development of storms. Crew-10 will keep collecting data and images, providing important information for scientists studying climate, weather patterns, and other natural stuff. These experiments are just a small taste of all the scientific research being done on the ISS. The International Space Station is a truly unique lab where scientists from all over the world can work together to do experiments that are impossible to do on Earth, which brings huge benefits to all of us. After a long period of dedicated service on the ISS, Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore got ready for their trip home. They had successfully finished their tasks, and the Crew Dragon Freedom, the same spacecraft that carried Crew-9 to the station, was ready to bring them and 2 members of Crew-9 back to Earth. On March 18, 2025, the Dragon Freedom gently detached from the ISS, carrying 4 brave astronauts. The return journey from space is a complex and challenging process. The spacecraft had to perform a series of engine burns to slow down and change its orbit, heading towards Earth's atmosphere. As the Dragon plunged into the atmosphere, it faced extremely high temperatures because of friction with the air. The spacecraft's advanced heat shield had to withstand temperatures of thousands of degrees Fahrenheit to protect the crew inside. This is one of the most critical parts of the mission, requiring absolute precision and reliability from the onboard systems. Having successfully made it through the fiery re-entry, the Dragon deployed its drogue and main parachutes to slow its descent before gently splashing down in the ocean off the coast of Florida. Recovery teams quickly approached the capsule to bring the astronauts back to shore safely. The big smiles on the faces of Sunita Williams, Barry Wilmore, and the two Crew-9 members were the clearest sign that the mission was a success. They had returned safely, bringing with them invaluable experiences and priceless scientific data. Seeing astronauts return safely always fills me with a mix of relief and deep admiration. They've risked their lives to explore the unknown, and their success is a huge inspiration to all of us. With the return of their colleagues, the Crew-10 astronauts continued their work on the ISS. They had many more months ahead of them to conduct scientific experiments, maintain the station systems, and contribute to our understanding of the universe. The experiments done by Crew-10 will keep expanding our knowledge in a lot of different scientific fields. They might be involved in research on growing food in space, which is really important for future long-duration missions. They could also participate in fundamental physics research, exploring the laws that govern the cosmos. The work that astronauts do on the ISS isn't just scientifically important, it also has deep human value. It helps us better understand the nature of the universe and our place in it. It also opens up new possibilities for the future of humanity. The Commercial Crew program isn't just about getting people to the ISS. It's about building a solid foundation for the future of space exploration. Before this program, NASA totally relied on the space shuttle to get astronauts to orbit, and after the shuttle program ended, they had to buy seats on Russian Soyuz spacecraft. The Commercial Crew program changed all that, giving the United States its own way to get to space and encouraging competition and innovation in the space industry. SpaceX and Boeing have spent years developing and testing to achieve the success we see today. They faced a lot of technical and financial challenges, but their perseverance and determination have paid off. The successful flights of the Crew Dragon and, while Starliner might not have had its crewed flight by the time of Crew-10, the ongoing development of Boeing's Starliner have shown that when the government and private companies work together, they can achieve some amazing things. I really think the Commercial Crew program is a prime example of how effective collaboration between the government and the private sector can be in reaching common goals. It hasn't just helped lower the cost of space missions, but it's also spurred innovation and competition in the aerospace industry. The future of the Commercial Crew program is incredibly bright. It will continue to play a vital role in keeping the ISS running until the station is eventually decommissioned. After that, commercial spacecraft could be used to build and operate other private space stations in low Earth orbit. This will open up new opportunities for scientific research, manufacturing in space, and even space tourism. Furthermore, the technologies and experience gained through the Commercial Crew program will serve as a stepping stone for future deep space exploration missions. The Crew Dragon could be adapted for flights to the Moon, and companies like SpaceX are developing even bigger spacecraft like Starship with the goal of sending humans to Mars. The Commercial Crew program is paving the way for a future where humanity isn't just living on Earth, but also exploring the cosmos. When I think about the future of space exploration, I get this overwhelming feeling of excitement. The Commercial Crew program is turning science fiction dreams into reality. We're standing at the beginning of a new era where space travel will become more accessible, and humans will have the chance to explore new worlds. Ladies and gentlemen, the story of SpaceX Crew-10 and the Commercial Crew program is a story of innovation, collaboration, and humanity's relentless pursuit of the unknown. We've seen the courage of astronauts pushing the limits of human endeavor to explore new frontiers. We've seen the remarkable progress of science and technology, enabling us to reach for the stars. Have you ever wondered what's waiting for us out there? What secrets of the universe are still hidden? Are there other worlds that have life? These are the questions that drive us to keep exploring, to keep searching, to keep reaching for the stars. Because deep down, every human being has this insatiable curiosity, a belief that our future lies among the stars. Let's keep dreaming of a future where humanity is a multiplanetary species, where traveling to space is as normal as traveling across our own planet is today. And let's remember that every step we take into space, no matter how small, is a giant leap for all of humankind. Our story of conquering the cosmos is still being written, and each of us has a role to play.